Hey everybody, today we've got something a little different. It's the Triumph America LT. This is the 865cc parallel twin, double overhead cam. It's quite a pretty bike. Sun shining. I'm looking forward to a nice relaxing ride. So the first thing we notice that's very different about this bike is the ignition. The key does not go up here. The key fits down here behind the battery box. Like so. The familiar fuel pump sound there. Let's take a seat. So, first off, I notice that it's quite a wide seating position and definitely feels quite low. It's got a good centre of gravity. Sitting on it, I don't really feel any weight bearing, but having moved it from just over there to here, I did think it was quite a heavy bike. So we'll be interested to see how that translates on the road. Oh yeah, now this is fun. My initial concern was the power, and I've only done 10 miles and I've done that on dual carriageway. It's not an issue. It really isn't an issue. All the usable power is where you want it. Some bumpy roads around this part of Northampton, and the ride is good. It's handling it very well. It's even, it's smooth. You can feel the bumps. These are some severe bumps, as you can see there, and it's handling it well. It's nice. There's no offsetting of the balance of the bike. It just deals with it. And at low speed steering, it's very responsive. It's nice. You can really get it moving. The clutch is not the lightest clutch I've felt, but it's appropriate. It suits the bike. It gives you control. It's a nice smooth transition up and down the gears. Screen does work well. It offers quite a lot of wind protection, but it offers quite a lot of reflection as well, just along that eye line. And for me, I'm quite tall, so the actual curve of the screen is in my eye line unless I'm very relaxed, so you become very aware of it as the rider. So I can give you a good honest appraisal around town, and that is that it's fine. It's a little intimidating for filtering, but to be fair, it's okay. With a bit of practice of the weight and the feel of the bike, you would master most filtering comfortably. It's not going to get through any tight spaces, but if you're on a dual carriageway come to a stop, then you're going to make progress. Maybe not as much as you might on a narrower, nippier, more nifty bike, but certainly you'll make progress nonetheless. This bike weighs a solid 270 kilos, and it feels it when you're braking, and it feels it when you're moving it around off the stand, but it doesn't feel it in motion. Forward, it's propelled well by the engine. The 74 newton meters of torque works hard. It's all geared well, and the power is all where you need it. I'm starting to get used to the forward and back shift now, as opposed to the straight up and down. It's a 5-speed gearbox on this one. The fuel cap is not locking as far as I can tell. It's just unscrewed and screwed on, so I'll need to check and see if there's a lock on that. Oil warning light here on the centre, neutral light, indicator, and your high beam light. No fuel gauge, just a fuel warning light. And that's one of the strangest things that I've had on a bike ever. On the screen here, it's quite a sunny day, there's quite a lot of chrome on this bike, and right now I'm catching the reflection from the centrepiece up here, and it also caught the reflection of a car. The light just caught it. Normally it's pointing this way with the reflection, but for some reason there I just caught my gaze. I thought there was a car there coming on from this side, but it was purely the reflection of it going the opposite way, so that was quite horrifying and something you probably need to be aware of if you ride one. The mirrors are good. These ones are fitted quite tightly, so they were a little bit difficult to adjust, but no, they're good. Good visibility, good angle, well positioned, nice and wide on these wide low bars. The balance of the bike is probably the one thing I like the most. It's nice, it's low speed, it's nice, you can weave it around. It catches the wind a bit. On the dual carriageway earlier it did catch the wind, and if you're relaxed on the bike it's fine, but if you're new to riding it and you were a little bit tense, I could see that becoming something that could catch you out, or being something that could catch you out until you got used to it. The most disappointing thing is definitely the noise from the pipes. The standard pipes are quite high pitched, high toned. You can hear a little bit of the parallel twin at the bottom, right at the bottom of the rev range, but nothing to get the heart racing, nothing to get you excited. I'm sure with an aftermarket exhaust, etc., it would sound pretty epic. My own personal opinion on this bike, I often thought about having a bike like this. In fact, the America was the model I actually quite fancied. I have a bit of a soft spot for them. I was always unsure about the power, and that's been put to bed now. I'm happy with the power. It's a very, very grunty engine. It's nice. I think it could sound quite immense with a few tweaks on the exhaust. It's incredibly comfortable. The low, wide seat, it's very well cushioned. It's just sit back, relax. The riding position is very comfortable. The footboards are well placed. It's a heavier bike than I expected though, and you need to be aware of that in the braking. It's not necessarily a negative, but it's definitely not what I'm used to. The front and back gear change is very different from what I'm used to, but it still works well. The gear change is good, the gearbox is nice, the clutch is very smooth. It's a top bike actually, it looks brilliant. I really like the look of it. It's a big head turner, it would be a bigger head turner with better sound. I'm still very aware of the low footboards, especially on roundabouts and bends such as this, where you're getting quite an angle. But generally, it proves not to be an issue. You could get on this bike in the morning and ride it till dark, stop for some dinner, get back on it and enjoy it all the way through the night. Very comfortable, very enjoyable. Time for the walk round. Triumph America LT 865cc parallel twin double overhead cam. The LT version has the screen, it has the saddlebag panniers and the sissy bar. Footboards are there, front and rear gear selector for up and down, chain drive. It's got a big fat tyre back here, nice big square section. Twin pipes, they're a little bit high pitched and high in tone as standard, but it is the stock bike. It's a beautiful looking bike. I love these machined covers, the chrome's nice, the footboards are nice, the brake pedal's nice, the hand grips are nice, the bars are lovely and sweeping. The single speedo I like. It's nice. The buttons are nice and intuitive, well placed, the mirrors are good, the screen works well, but it does offer a little bit of glare, which I'm not too keen on. The seat's brilliant. Wide, comfortable, soft but without being saggy. Suspension's good, it handles bumps well. Catches the wind a little at dual carriageways, 65-70 miles an hour, you're going to catch the wind. It's a big bike, you're going to do that anyway, especially with that screen. And I like this deep blue, it really, really is nice. The filler cap on these is screw down, but it is machined just wide enough for the filler tube. While we're down here, we've got the indicator, main beam, neutral light, oil warning light. The key is down here behind the battery box above the rear peg. So if we turn that now, there we go. So you can just get a glimmer of that parallel twin. Just down there at the low revs. And that would be much nicer with some more open pipes probably, but a nice thud nonetheless. So there we go, Triumph America LT. Beautiful bike, definitely have one. I like it all. Nothing I dislike, other than perhaps the glare on the screen, the indicator warning, indicator light here being down there at your eye line. It's not the best. But they're nothing. I'm really picky to find these things. Otherwise, I definitely want one. Wouldn't be my main bike, but I can see where it would fit into most riders' stables, where they would use it, where they could use it, where they would want to use it. And it certainly fits into mine. So I'm just heading back to Pure Triumph in Wellingborough with this beautiful cruiser. I'm a very happy rider today. I've enjoyed this almost more than any of the others I've ridden, possibly with the exception of the big 1215 XC, and it's a very different animal. This is such a different bike and a different way to ride, and it's a different way of being a biker, and I like it a lot. I'm not sure it's me on everyday use, but on the hottest day of the year so far, in the sunshine, in the countryside on a weekend afternoon, I couldn't be happier.